So this must have been ages ago when we were first starting out, and he was such a beautiful man, but he just didn't know what he wanted to do with himself. And I suppose he fell on hard times. I mean, it was when we were still living in the house back on Limoncello Avenue, and he was doing so much work and exercises, like more than any other dancer that I knew, but he was just not getting the parts. He was ahead of his time. It was about process when, at the time, actually what he wanted was somebody to come and do the job. You know what I mean? Um, so we were living here and we had no money, and so we had to move out. Um, we were on the streets then, and that's when I just had to leave him because I said, like, well, if you're not making the effort for this relationship, then I can't be with you. And it was a really hard decision, and I mean, I never really left him, but there he was on the streets, just continuing his regime and practicing and working, but not working in the sense that everyone else at the time was. You gotta remember, this was like the late 50s, and it was all about making money. You know, when you were a dancer, it was, I'm gonna dance because I want more money, because I want a bigger house, because I want to do more dancing. It wasn't about the joy of the dance. So after people cottoned on to his more performance-centered way of being, and I suppose the early 60s heralded this sort of different way of thinking, and so he moved into the commune just around the corner from here. Actually, with all his worldly ways, he hadn't actually moved more than about 3 miles in his entire life. But then people came to him, and I think that's the traveling that he did through dance, is that the world came to him, and it's how, from that boring living room, he changed the face of movement, really. I mean, it was sad to see him in his older days. I mean, we'd visit him. He moved to the end of Limoncello Avenue, just to the beach, like the beach hut, what we call the beach hut. And we'd see him perform the same piece again and again, and it was almost like a calling card that he becomes so fixated upon that it becomes sort of death knell, heralding not the end of his impact, I guess. I mean, when young people stopped coming to him, it's sort of when he died, and it was only through the muscle memory of the recognition his body had for the movement that he kept going. And I think the day he stopped moving, his body just died. It was a weird thing to watch the end of it, a genius. I mean, we weren't together anymore, but it was strange. A life that was lived for process has left no thing.